and I'm stumbling back to bed all by myself. Don't need nobody else. All my friends are drunk again, and I'm stumbling back to bed all by myself. Don't need nobody else. Smell like smoke, weed alone. It's been a while since we last spoke. So tell me, how's it go? Still love blues, nothing new. Careless love, I've had a few. How about you? All my friends are drunk again, and I'm stumbling back to bed all by myself. Don't need nobody else. All my friends are drunk again, and I'm stumbling back to bed all by myself. Don't need nobody else. I never thought when you're gone I find it hard to carry on. And it's probably 'cause I fell in love way back when, and I think about us when ain't no way. Think about us when all my friends are drunk again, and I'm stumbling back to bed all by myself. Don't need nobody else. All my friends are drunk again, and I'm stumbling back to bed all by myself. I got nobody else. Do-do.
Sarah Fernandes, everyone. Thank you very much. Welcome back to another episode of Life with Lamb. Different intro.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a round of applause. That was amazing.
Excuse the ain't no way.
I know.
Excuse that.
No, it makes it more real.
Yeah.
Love to see
You know
it.
me. I'm real.
You're real, Sarah. How are you going?
I'm fantastic.
Thank you very much for that. I hope the listeners enjoyed that. I'm going to leave that in. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, calm.
Well, actually, we planned it. We planned it all along.
Yeah.
How are you? What's life like? How are you going?
Life is good. Life is fast now. I am working and I am sleeping so much.
That's good.
all I do.
Sleep is so important. We caught up recently.
Waking up at 2 p.m. Yeah, today.
Exactly, but you still got your... When did you sleep? 5?
Yeah.
5 till 2.
How many hours?
What?
I'm bad at maths.
Bad at maths too. 9 hours.
Oh, beast! That's perfect.
Beast. That's awesome. Optimal recovery. We'd love to see it. Thank you for that performance again. I'm gonna keep saying it. Like,
thanks for allowing me.
I know. I'm an enabler. We'd love to see it. Singer. Sarah. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yay! Well, I am Sarah. I am 19 and I go to university. I do music and arts. Music is a really big part of my life. I've been singing for like ages. I've been playing guitar for less than that. I've been playing guitar since like high school. But I want to be a singer. Hopefully one day. Hopefully.
And what is some recent news that you had? You had your first
gig.
Yes,
my first ever paid gig.
How exciting. You did so well.
I had a dream last night.
Oh, serious?
That I got paid. Like, I had a dream that, like, one of the band members... I just clocked this. I had a dream that one of the band members came to my house and gave me, like, a wad of cash. So...
Well, you probably deserve it.
Yeah.
We went to Let's Vibe, and Sarah was performing the whole night. It was a very good night. Vibes were up. Parents were there. Friends were there. All down to support. Music. Where did it all begin? You say it's a big part of your life. Who got you into it?
Well, who got me into it? I have no idea. My mom and dad don't really sing. I don't know anyone in my family that sings. I think I'm the only musician in my family.
Serious?
Except for like people that are like in my extended family that I don't really talk to. I haven't really had contact with them that much. Like, I don't think that really counts because they haven't really been direct influences in my life. But I think growing up, I just really loved Ariana Grande. I just loved like, you know, One Direction and stuff. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to be like that. So I like grew up trying to sing like her, you know. And I also really love like acting and stuff. So I'd always be in like the talent competition as a kid. And my parents, bless them, they like supported that. They pushed me a little bit too hard sometimes, to the point that like in family parties, they like make me sing like when I was like nervous, and I'd be like crying on stage, like singing. But look, that's all character building experiences, you know, so it's okay. Now I can sing in front of crowds. Thanks, Mom, Dad.
Exactly. It probably all worked out in the end, and it has with the gig. And I'm keen to see where you sort of take your story. 19, you're very young.
Yeah.
Probably one of the youngest guests that we've had on.
True. Yes.
How does that feel?
I feel underqualified.
You feel underqualified, no.
I'm actually stressed because, listen, I don't have a very, like, exquisite vocabulary, okay? Exquisite. I don't even think that's the right word. But I speak, like, crazy slang. You know, you'll hear so many things I say that won't make sense. Calm.
Yeah.
I say, like, bogus when it doesn't even make sense in the context that I use it. It's not even right. Like, nothing I say makes sense.
No, Life with Lamb is not about the vocabulary. It's more about the story of where you've got to. And I know 19 it sounds like a very young age, but I feel like you've been able to pull your head in and do a lot of things recently, which has been really exciting. And I think, like, as someone who met you only last year, crazy.
Yeah. I feel like I've known you my whole life.
I know. It feels like we've known each other a very long time. We both were in DSA. Deakin students, Deakin Society, Deakin Society of Asian Australians. Sorry, I'm very out of this.
You're just so removed now.
I know, I'm so removed. It's pretty heartbreaking.
Just left us in the dust. It's fine. It's fine.
It's all right. Just make me feel guilty on a podcast.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we obviously were in DSA and formed a really tight friendship, which has been really nice. And I've seen you sort of grow as a person, and I wanted to definitely get you on the podcast because we've got some ideas in the works. And that first bit of you singing was definitely one of them. Talk to us about what it's like being a music student and everything. Like, have you faced, I guess I always talk to, not always, but I talk to a few art students, and there's obviously that stigma around being a music student and being into like performing arts and those sorts of things. What's it been like?
I feel like a piss take sometimes, not gonna lie. Like, I tell people I'm doing, like, I have to, if I tell someone asks me what I'm doing, I have to say, oh yeah, I'm doing a double degree. I don't say arts music, I say psychology music, because people are like, arts? Okay, dumb fool. Like, okay. But it's always like, you saying music last in the sentence, you know? Like, instead of saying music arts, I say arts music, psychology music, because I just want to sound smarter, like the biomed people and like the med people. Like, I'm all like friends with them. And sometimes you feel kind of insignificant. And even in my own course, sometimes you feel a little bit insignificant because like there's so many singers, like it's so oversaturated with singers, and you just feel so competitive. But it's the people like you that make me feel great that I can actually do this. I can actually be a musician one day.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I think I take more pride in being a musician lately. Like, first year I've grown a lot as a person, like in a sense of not seeking validation from everyone around me and not worrying about what everyone thinks and just doing what I can and doing the best in my field.
And that's all you can do at the end of the day. I really don't like hearing how you feel insignificant among other people. I've actually had, if the listeners date back, and I know it's a really recent crowd, obviously, but there's an episode where I talked to Izzy Roberts about it. She did music and teaching, but she said, I do teaching in music, and phrased it like that as well. There's definitely conversations around that, and it's really sad to hear because I think musicians are some of the most talented people in the entire world.
Bro, Kendrick Lamar, the rapper, he won a Grammy. He also won like a Pulitzer or whatever that is.
I'm not on top of this, but I'm sure you would have been.
Because only writers win that, but he's a rapper. Like he's a poet. You know what I mean? And like it's like the world is changing, you know, we are like musicians and like arts people are like finding a place in society, like a respected place in society.
I think it's so exciting, and you shouldn't need to feel that way about
It's a
rewording your
process.
degree.
It's a process.
I know. Well, is that a subconscious thing, or did you consciously start realizing it as you headed into that uni environment?
I think growing up in general, like especially in an Indian family, where like my brother, he's an engineer, like high achiever, like really smart guy. All my cousins, like all my cousins are doing like engineering, computer science, all that stuff, and I'm like doing music. But I feel so blessed because my parents always supported me. But then you can't help but not compare yourself to your cousins and your family and your friends. Even your parents sometimes do it in like heated moments, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, when family gets involved, it's sort of a bit awkward and tests the waters a little bit in terms of, well, why are you bringing this? Like, obviously, if it's being brought up into an argument, like you're subconsciously thinking about it, and it's just like being projected.
It's just things that like stay in your head, like things you've heard from like your childhood and things you've seen, and you use like your older cousins and your older family as like a model to shape yourself, like. And I feel like I'm like so far from their path. Like I'm not.
Well, can you describe some of the things that you've heard or some of the encounters, if you don't mind?
Well, there's always like, you know, oh, Kumon. Let me start on
Kumon. That logo scares the absolute hell out of me.
Like I cried every lesson. I did. I'm not even.
Did you do Kumon? Like
I did because my parents forced me to.
Oh,
because my parents tried to like put me in that thing, but I guess my will was too strong now. But like I even went to Namcon. There's two, bro. I don't even know.
I only know about Kumon, and I know the circle has like a sad face on it.
Yeah. Oh, why? Anyway,
it's great marketing and great logo making.
It's funny as though. But like, I went there. It was like there was one like really close to my school, and like, I just couldn't do maths. Like, you know what? I probably could, but I just didn't have the desire to do it. Like, there was other things I could have focused on. I wish I did music. I wish I was put into music from a younger age because, like, it's all like, imagine how good I would have been if I started like at a young age. But like, you know what?
But you're already.
I'm
really
happy.
Good.
I'm happy with where I am. No, but imagine. But yeah, but still, like I did Kumon, and I used to cry every lesson. My parents just forced me to go there. Even the lady would be like flustered because I'd just be crying, like trying to do multiplication. I couldn't even get to division, like. Yeah, and then for some reason my parents are like, all right, well, all your cousins are doing Namcon, so let's put you into there. And it's like a harder version of Kumon. It's actually like, how many hours is it? It's like 4, I don't even know, like 5 hours. It's like a school day, and you get one break.
Is this on a weekend?
Yeah, it's on a weekend, man. I could have been going to like orchestra or something, but I went to Namcon, okay? And yeah, it was just really weird because I was around so many people. I also got like kind of, I wouldn't say bullied, maybe bullied is the word, but like, you know, when you're different to like all these kids and they're all smarter than you kind of feel like they're all just like, oh, I don't want to play with you, weirdo. Ugh.
Yeah, it's very invalidating, especially when you sort of have that talent, and then academics is so heavily focused on.
Yeah.
Or you grow up in a school curriculum where primary school, you're already I think, well, from my experience in prep, like you do your readings, and then the system that they had was like, oh, A is like the easiest, and you have like your Z books as well, like they're like a lot harder to read. So already then you're being forced into this idea of, well, you're more advanced because you're at the Z category, and then you grow up, and then high school, and then you've got your ATAR, and then it's uni, and then it's like, what's the best course that you can do?
I just hate that schools don't use people's talents. It's like very generalized and like, how do I say this?
I think it's brushed off to the side.
Yeah, and not even that, like, you're training robots, in my opinion. Like, this might be extreme, but like in a sense you are training like everyone to think the same. How good can a society be if everyone thinks the same? Like, we need more perspectives. Like we need even like in primary school, all the tests, like when I was in primary school, I wasn't like great. Like I didn't have any like desire to like just sit down and do the work. Like, yeah, I'd do it, but there was not enough like creativity time. It was all like, oh yeah, this is maths time, English, history. There was like never I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they call sports and also music as like
Yeah.
extracurricular.
Even
as
sports
well.
is more celebrated than
It
music.
is more, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is more celebrated. And they call these things extracurricular, which you have to sort of invest your time outside of it as well. And it's not like
Yeah.
you can substitute it, which is so annoying. And it's a very rigid system.
Yeah.
And I think they celebrate academia. And don't get me wrong, we need academia 100%.
That
But
is true, but I think the system should be making well-rounded students, not just someone that's good at like, because I'm not trying to be rude, but some of these people that the education system produces are the weirdest people I've ever met in my life. Like I've met so many people that are really book smart, but they are so dumb. Like real talk, they are so smart. Like, you know, you can give them an equation, they'll like get it, or like, you know, you give them like you ask them like a question about history or something, they'll get it. But what does that knowledge mean in the real world? You know what I mean? Like, you need to have some sense, some social sense. You know what I mean? Like, these people that they produce, most of them, maybe that's a generalization because I don't know the statistic, but some of them, they don't have like
the EQ.
the EQ or social cues at all. These people, the really smart people, they don't really have social cues. Like, it's like they're not training students for themselves to be a contributing part of society. They're just training people to work for society, to work under people. There's no like, you know what, make your own business, do this. Let's learn how to think for yourself. Let's learn some initiative. It's all like if you just use these formulas, remember these formulas, and it'll get you through life. You'll make money, and you'll just keep making money, and you'll keep working in this stupid system, and you'll die in this stupid system too. Sorry, that was a bit intense.
It's like we're going off at the academia. We love to see it.
I love this. I love the government.
No, it's.
I actually.
I think
know
it's
that
so
much.
right. I've never found the words to put it into a podcast or anything, but I think it's so true. It's like we push this message of just become money making machines, and it's like
Yeah.
you can't think for yourself, because I think it's very dangerous if you do start thinking for yourself. And I think a lot of people in power are very scared of that. If
Yeah.
you do start thinking of yourself, and don't get me wrong, there needs to be order. There needs to be some sort of rules in place and formulas in place. But I think it's really sad to see that people like yourself who grow up with music surrounding your passions, or passion surrounding music, being looked down upon in society because you want to chase that, and unfortunately that's like not valued or put on a pedestal, like
Yeah.
being a doctor, a lawyer, a dentist.
Yeah. Like, people are going to be like, oh, yeah, wow, that's so cool, you're a musician. I could never do that. But it's not the same as, wow, you're a doctor, you're saving so many lives, you're doing this. But you know what? Like, I don't know. I don't even know what's right and what's wrong at this point. Like,
Well, what gravitated you towards music, and why have you kept it so close? Because I know a lot of people who do pick up an instrument, like myself, eventually phase it out.
Yeah.
What has kept you latching onto it?
I have no idea. I don't even know. Like, honestly, I'm going to say God. I'm going to say God. Like, I'm Catholic, and, like, I think that I've been blessed so much in, like, ways that, like, are kind of mysterious. Like, I kept doing music because when I was singing at the primary school talent show in year 6, the youth group of my, like, primary school, they, like, said, next year, you're going to be old enough to join the youth group. Come with us. Come sing with us. You can grow with us. And so now, like, you know, I sing at youth group with them, and that's, like, it was, like, kind of like a casual thing. And then as time went on, like, I've just been singing at so many churches, like, and that's where all, like, my performance experience came from the start. It was first singing at Mass, and then going to, like, a Catholic high school, singing all those hymns at church. And it actually got me a lot of exposure from, like, one of my school teachers that were new. She saw me sing at Mass, and then she started this, she was like, oh my God, come here, come join this group. I'm going to start a group, and it was called the music ministry of my school. And we sang at, like, so many different events. It wasn't, it kind of went from, like, singing at, like, you know, all these local church events, but we went to, like, Perth, like, but that was kind of chill though. We went to Perth and we sang there at, like, this massive Catholic Youth Festival, the Australian Catholic Youth Festival, and then we sang at, like, the cathedral and all that stuff. And it's just like, thanks to the church, you know, there's a lot of iffiness around the church and stuff. But for me, my experience with it has been like heavily music dominated. And I have the church to thank. Well, maybe not the church, but the people in the church that supported me and helped me grow as a musician.
Was there ever a turning point where you're like, hey, like I actually want to pursue this as something that I want to do for the rest of my life, or not for the rest of your life, because careers obviously change and everything. But yeah, was there a turning point at any stage?
I think during high school I was always like, yes, I am going to do psychology. I'm going to be a psychologist. But I find I do a lot more venting than listening at some point. I got to work on that. But anyway, during VCE, I took music as a subject because I was like, yeah, year 11, like I sing. I can do VCE. It'd be a fun little throwaway subject. Then I did it, and I was like, wow. I think I got the highest mark that year. And I was like, damn, this is actually like, I'm actually like good. Like I can actually do this. So I took it in year 12, and I was like, I tried so hard, and I duxed music that year. So I was really happy.
Let's go.
Yay. but then at that point I was like, yes, I can't see myself not singing. And coming back to like, you know, being religious, and like, I was like, it would be such a shame if I wasted a gift, you know, that was given to me. Like, I have this gift for a reason, and I should be using it. I can't, like, I've seen so many people that are crazy at their instruments, but they're doing like a 9-to-5 job or something. But like, we want you in the scene. We want to see you. Like, music brings, like, you know, at Let's Vibe, the whole place just lit up.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I can't put into words like how. Oh, I can't put into words like what the environment felt like, but it was electric, I reckon.
Music kind of like breaks down the walls of like, you know, it sounds kind of intense, but society.
No, 100%.
Like,
I think it brings everyone together as well,
yeah.
because you can find some sort of relation. Like, music is something that is a part of human nature.
Yeah.
There's like so many studies.
It literally brings people together. Like, imagine if we weren't there singing, everyone would just be in their tables eating, you know, like silently. No one would interact, but we were singing. And then when I was singing, I saw my mom talking to some random, like, you know, this my mom was chatting up.
Yes, I did.
I was like, who are you? Like, you know, and like, I saw that happening with everyone. Even I was talking to random people. People were like coming up to me like, wow, you rapped. What the hell? What? Crazy. No, but if we weren't there, we wouldn't have those conversations. We wouldn't have made those connections with other people.
Yeah, music. It's awesome. Brought your mum and myself together.
Yeah,
It was so funny.
My mom, my family loves you now.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely loves you.
We're the favourite. Yeah, no, it was actually electric at Let's Vibe. And you, like you said, it's awesome that you can recognise that you have a gift as well. And yes, maybe you might have some imposter syndrome or some doubts about, oh, maybe I can't like hit this note or sing this song. I mean, you always have that. And you talk about your writer's block in the little form that I sent out to you. What was that all like? And did you keep reflecting back to this gift that you talk about to motivate you to further your music studies?
Yeah. Like, I knew I always wanted to do music, but like, as an Indian, you know, like, I have to have something to fall back on. That's what my family always said to me, because music is obviously very unstable and very competitive. So that's why I took up psychology. I think during during first year uni, I started to think like, maybe music is my, like, you know, fun little thing. Maybe I'm just doing a double degree. I forgot the reason why I started it. The reason why I started this double degree was to pursue music and have psychology there, you know? But then, like, this imposter syndrome, like, kicked in and stuff, and I just felt so insignificant. And I was like, you know, maybe I'm just doing a double degree because it's fun, and I'm just doing music for fun, and I'm going to be a psychologist. But then the turning point was at Let's Vibe, when I was like, this is what gigging is like. This is what being a musician is like. This is so fun, and I can't get enough of it. I need more, like... And so now I'm back to... I know I started. Now I'm back on track.
Amazing. Talk to us about first year. it can be a really difficult time. I know for myself, it was like probably one of the worst years of my life, to be honest. I just think it was just so, monotonous and robotic.
Yeah.
Like you said before, first year can just be such a drag for some people. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people, like, they thrive in uni in their first year and they're like, wow, this is like amazing. I'm being challenged further academically and I'm going to find my passion and career here. But talk to us a bit about it, because it sounds like your direction sort of frayed off a little bit and you started heading the wrong way, or not necessarily the wrong way, maybe just the way that society is probably projecting onto you. How was all that?
First year was crazy. Like, it was wild. I partied so much.
It was a movie.
It was a movie, bro. Like, it was totally sick. No, I did so much during first year. I went to my first rave. You know what? My music taste changed so much during first year. Now I'm like crazy. When I was driving here, I was listening to hardstyle. You know,
Sometimes you have to.
You know, yeah. Especially in peak hour traffic, just sitting still.
You need something to stimulate you.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, so I went to my first rave. You know, like, I went clubbing for the first time, did all like this adult stuff, and in turn with seeing myself as an adult, you know, I went for dinner for the first time. You know, like, I dressed up. You know how like adults, you kind of see them like dress up and go to dinner, like fancy dinner, just like with your friends. You know, for just dinner and drinks.
Yes.
That is not something you do.
No, 100%.
As a teenager.
I remember, like, in high school when we went out for dinner and then we saw all these people in like shirts and suits and stuff coming in for dinner, and you're like, I could never do that.
Yeah.
And now you're like,
and now I'm doing that. Exactly. I looked great. but I looked so grown up. When I dressed up for that dinner, it was just me and my like best friends. When I dressed up for it, I looked in the mirror and I was like, you don't look like teenage Sarah anymore. You kind of look like an adult. So, like, with that mindset, like, that whole shift in mindset, seeing myself as a new person, like, growing, kind of started thinking about life more seriously. But what is serious? Like, you know, music is serious. But I kind of started to see life more conventionally serious, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, psychology is where my job is going to be. Psychology is where I'm going to make money. So that's how I got to that set. But then I had to kind of like unravel that again, you know.
Do you feel like Let's Vibe was definitely the turning point? Or
it was, for sure. Like I say this to a lot of people, you don't know something, you can't have an opinion on something unless you've done it, unless you've been in it. Obviously, take that like with a grain of salt, contextual. But like, for example, I was telling my friend to come to a rave. I was like, trust me, you like it. She's like, nah, rave people suck. They're like, they want to kill you. They're crazy. I'm like, no. Like, I went to Tyler, the Creator. I actually thought I was going to die, okay? Tyler, the Creator is my top artist, like, all these years, okay? I thought I was going to die at that concert. Because people actually, they want to kill you, I feel like. Okay? Like, in the mosh, I felt like I was burning. Anyway, I went, like, to a rave. How many people were at Knockout? Like, 40K?
I didn't go.
40K. 400,000? No, I don't even know.
I have no clue, but raves are pretty big.
They were massive.
Yeah.
There were so many people at Knockout, and I felt so looked after. You know, like, there was no, like, crazy mosh, and no matter where you could go, I could easily just walk to the front, you know, to the boom gates. You can't do that at a rap concert. And you're telling me that hardstyle is for killers?
I love the analogy that you've used to describe, like, not judging a book by its cover pretty well.
Yeah, because this is a real life experience I've had. And I was trying to convince her because, like, you know, every time my friend goes out, she always has an encounter with, like, creepy men, okay? But I was like, I'll buy you food. If you go to this rave, I guarantee you nothing will happen to you. Because everyone at raves are, like, nice. They're doing their own thing. No one gives a shit. Sorry.
Wow, how dare you? No.
They're doing their own thing. Like, you know, no one cares. Everyone's just there to look after you. Like, you know, can I have some water? Yeah, sure. Here. You can't, you know? And so she went there and she was like, yeah, Sarah, food's on me.
Oh, food's on her. Love that.
So, yeah.
The Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
So you started doing all these adult like things, is that where you felt that your narrative sort of changed and you were like, oh, like I need to start thinking about life more seriously, and this music dream is probably just something that I was thinking about really naively as a kid?
Yeah. But like, I don't feel that way anymore because Red Stuff is very recent.
Yeah,
But
yeah, exactly. That's why it was so recent. So what
you've
was...
caught me at the good time. You've caught me at a very good time.
That's good. That's why I wanted to do the podcast. Did parents contribute to that? I'd love to do a deep dive into like what it's like being a second gen. I know, like, I'm really grateful actually. My parents are probably not probably, they're really wonderful. And they're very supportive of what I'm doing here. Yes, they'd love me to do well at uni, but they know that it's not like my most favorite thing ever. So I'm really fortunate that I've grown up, and dad's really hardworking. Mum's equally as hardworking, but more entrepreneurial. And it's just like a really nice combo.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us a bit about your parents and what their impact has been on your life?
Well, my parents, like, they were born in India. In India, maybe back then more so. I don't know about the state of it now. Like, but the only like 3 careers you could have gone for was like commerce, medicine, and like IT, I think. Please don't quote me on it. Like, but there's like 3 streams. MBA, you can get your business or something, you know. My dad got his MBAs. My mom, I don't even know what she did, honestly, but she did something. But like, they came to Australia with that mindset, like, and it's really hard for them because obviously their whole family was here as well, and like all their cousins and stuff, obviously their age, and so their only circle was all of my cousins, their parents, you know, and they're all also in the same mindset that like you have to go to uni, do a proper degree, and you know, start a family.
What does a proper degree mean, though, is the question I pose back to anyone that thinks that there's a proper degree. And I know there's so much shit against art students and people doing that, but it's like, it's a degree still at university.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what proper is, and it doesn't say anything in the handbook or on their website that it's a proper degree or improper degree. I've never understood that mindset, and I think it's very outdated.
I guess to them, a proper degree would be like something that gets you a job straight away.
Something that's safe.
You know, yes. Or like medicine, something that's high earning and is very safe, yeah.
I've always thought about second gen Australians, like yourself and myself as well. I think the narrative is really... it's skewed because you come to Australia and there are so many small business owners. There are so many people just doing their own thing, and it's awesome. I love it. But when you come from a background where you've moved countries and you've had to make a living for yourself, it can be so difficult to break that mindset of, well, maybe this, like, what if this small business like folds in on itself and there's no stability? And it's always that stability that's so prominent in their train of thought. Like, what if you end up on the streets and stuff, or you're not working as hard as me because you're pursuing your own thing.
My mom and dad, they work, you know, and they've been working, and I see them as they're the hardest workers I know, but you don't see like practicing for music or like, you know, just sitting down and studying as working, even though it takes the same amount of toll on your like brain, in my opinion. And so my parents kind of see that as like, you're not doing anything, you're just sitting and playing guitar, that's fun, but work can be fun. I don't think they understand, like, you know, like in maybe their perspective, work is something that you need to just like do and then you can have fun. But why not bring the two together?
Yeah, 100%. I took a summer subject.
I did too.
Yeah, it was called The Future of Work, and they went through all the definitions of work and what it means to a lot of people. So I think a lot of second gen parents do fit that category of work is something that you do as a chore, and it's something that you do to survive and make money off of. It shouldn't be enjoyable. It it should be something that you do and then you have your leisure time after. But
Yeah.
I think the narrative is changing, and work can definitely be considered something that is fun and something that you enjoy doing and something that you feel fulfilled from.
Yeah.
And it's hard to educate that because that's what they've grown up knowing, and it's really hard. What's it been like for you? Like, have you had some pretty meh conversations?
Yeah, with my parents, there's like, I just don't know, because, you know, I know that they're trying. And I'm saying this out of hindsight. In a heated conversation, I would be like, nah, you know, like, you guys hate me. Ah. And there's every conversation like that ends up like that sometimes. Like, sometimes I have to take, like, massive breaks with my parents because, you know, we're so similar that we clash. But I know that they're trying. Like, I think the reason why I feel like I'm walking around eggshells when I speak to them and I feel like they're so unpredictable is because they don't even really know what they're doing. Like, no one does. You know what I mean? And they're trying to accommodate for me in this Western world, and like fight against what they've grown up learning. Because obviously they've grown up in a different context, and they're trying to help me in like as best they can with what they know, with what they've experienced. But obviously my experience is different, and it's kind of hard to like juggle between those two.
Yeah, it's always that like. It's like a never-ending battle, really.
No, you can't, and that's the thing. Like, I've come to realize, like last year, I've like had like a change of heart, trying to change my perspective because like I was so sick of like fighting with my parents, just constantly fighting. Like, I felt like there was a point that I was like, damn, I wish that I was never their child. Like, and
Damn.
that's yeah. And I think that like, you know what, they were like, my relationship with my parents could be better, but I know that they love me and I love them. But it's just like communication is the problem. And so I started thinking like my whole life has just been like this uphill battle with my parents. What can I change? Like, what can I do? And I think I had to change my perspective a little bit and stop thinking like, you know, it's them that's the problem, like they have the generational gap or whatever. Maybe I can accommodate a little bit more, you know? I've been doing a little bit of research on TikTok about stoicism.
We did talk about this.
Yes.
On TikTok? No.
On TikTok?
I think I have a negative view, but we were talking off air about TikTok. I think if you can filter and alter the algorithm to project beneficial For You page searches, I think it's great. It's a great app.
Yeah.
But if you're tailoring it to like softcore porn or like I don't know, just some controversial shit, I think it's just like you should delete the app and it's not productive.
Yeah, well, I guess it just depends on who you are. Luckily,
You figured the algorithm.
Yeah. I like absolutely mastered it. And one you find night, like at like 3 a.m. or something, you know, and you're scrolling on TikTok. There was like this, I was really sad, you know. I think like everything just comes in mysterious ways. Like, yeah, everything comes in mysterious ways. And so I was just scrolling on TikTok looking at like stupid memes, like, you know. And then there was this thing about like being stoic. And I was like, oh, cool. This is great. This looks like something that I need. I'm going to read more about it. And so I like did some research about it, and I actually really like what they stand for, like the idea of, you know, processing your feelings still, but just not being so hard on yourself, understanding that you just have to roll with the waves at some points in life, you know.
Yeah. Philosophy is so interesting. I want to definitely delve more into it. There's like so much reading and literature on it, and it's really nice because I think I'm the type of person that definitely just picks and grabs different perspectives and different views. Obviously the ones that I'm more biased towards, which I don't know, it can be a double-edged sword. Like you start becoming blind to certain things, but you also improve your quality of life. I've just googled stoicism. It is the philosophy of life that maximizes positive emotions, reduces negative emotions, and helps individuals to hone their virtues of character, which I think is very relatable or relevant to life now. I think it's like, why should we heighten negative emotions in a job that we're not enjoying.
Exactly. Then there's so many things that are out of our control. What can you do about it? Nothing. So why are you so stressed? Why am I so stressed? That's what I'm trying to tell myself. And I'm still like working towards being less stressed. Like something.
You're 19, Sarah. It's okay.
Yeah, but you know what? You keep growing. Even if I'm like 30, it's still okay. You know, like I'm still growing. You don't stop growing. You know what I mean? Like that's why I think mindset is just everything. And I am done. 2023 is the year that I am positive because you can ask any of my friends. I'm like the most biggest complainer. I complain so much, but I'm gonna try to stop complaining and just start like seeing things in perspective.
Love that. How has that changed your mindset towards your parents as well? Because I feel like there would be some listeners that can relate to maybe their parents don't love what they're doing or don't love what the child is doing, or maybe they're forcing or pigeonholing you into, I don't know, doing med, law, dentistry, something like that, something that you don't really enjoy. How have you sort of flipped your mindset and how are you navigating that sort of space?
I can't say that me and my family are like perfect now, but more dialogue and more conversation is starting to, come about. And it's like, it's not like the same conversation because I found that even when I was in high school, I'd see like a psychologist and she was great, but she didn't really understand the life of a second generation Indian, second generation Asian, right? Like she would be like, just talk to them. Have you expressed how you feel? No, I can't, because every time I try to talk to them, they'll just be like, shut up, go away. No, you're wrong. Why are you talking back to me? Why are you talking back? It's not like, you know what I mean? Like you can't fight with someone that doesn't want to listen. You can't talk to someone that doesn't want to listen. I have realized that you can't change even your parents. You can't change even the people that love you the most, but you can change yourself. And if you can still be a good person and still manage to not, because every time I have a conversation with my parents, we end up fighting. I end up screaming too, like we all end up screaming. But if my goal is to have a conversation with my parents and not scream and still be cool-headed and still think of them in a good light, because I know after these conversations I go, oh my god, I hate these people, I want to leave, I want to move out, but I want to, my ultimate goal is to be in a heated conversation or like a really bad argument with my parents and still like have love. Like I have love for them, but still know that I have love for them,
Yeah, love it.
I don't know if that really answered your question, but I don't have the answer. Like
no, and I don't think anyone ever has the answer, especially like as a second generation myself. Like I can heavily relate to that. It's really hard. It's so hard.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you have to like please your parents, you please your friends, but you need to remember that you live with yourself. At the end of the day, you should make the decisions that correlate to your life. Don't make decisions just for the sake of your parents, because they're going to be gone. Like this is morbid, but like what are you going to do when they're gone? You're going to regret it. You're going to be like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that.
Yeah.
And if your parents see you thriving in that field, they'll be like, oh, sorry, well, sorry, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, well, you're gonna end up resenting your parents, and like, what world do you want to live in where you're resenting your parents?
Yeah,
and that's a very entitled and privileged sense. Like there are some horror stories out there with parents, and I think arguments are a thing, and it's obviously not the best thing as well. But I don't know. There's obviously cases of like domestic abuse and all those sorts of things. So we're very
domestic abuse is very, 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 well, I wouldn't call it domestic abuse, but it's like discipline. It's shaded under the form of discipline. And I just think I'm trying to break the cycle, okay? Me personally,
I don't want a beating.
Yeah, me personally, I'm good. I've gotten really good at dodging. Nah, jokes. Jokes.
No, we can't be saying this. No, but it's like, arguments are a thing, and obviously it's like how you navigate them.
Yeah.
And like you said, probably just switching the lens of what can I do, and like, this isn't something that you can control.
Yeah.
Your parents and their values and how they've grown up isn't something that you can control, but what can I do?
If you control yourself, you are setting yourself up for like success.
Yeah.
Because then you are ultimately breaking the cycle, and with your own future kids, if you choose to have kids or whatever, like, you can like learn from your parents' mistakes, you know, like, and it's not even your parents' fault. They don't like being a parent is hard. There's no like there's books, but you know, like, they're not good. They're not good books.
How to be a good parent.
How to be a good parent.
I think my parents have one in the study. It's pretty funny. But
very bogus.
Yeah.
They are.
well, it's like those stories that you hear with like relationships, where maybe your partner's going overseas to like study or intern or something, and it's like an opportunity, but the other partner's like not willing to let them go.
Yeah.
And then
If you love them, let them go.
exactly. No, but like they're not willing to let them go, and then they eventually don't go, and then it's like you end up resenting the other person.
And
it's
then you're
similar
just
with
like,
parents.
it was your fault. And you know, I've had like situations like that. Like I go, Mom, Dad, if you didn't put me in music in primary school, if you put me in music in primary school, imagine where I could have been.
Yeah, but that's a hypothetical as well, Sarah. You gotta understand that. It's that conversation as well. I've had so many conversations about, oh, if only my parents taught me the language that they speak, then I wouldn't like feel really awkward at a family gathering.
Yeah, that too. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, well, we were talking about that off air, and it's just like it's a hard and weird debate, because it's like, yes, it would have been amazing if my parents taught me more Cantonese, but then they were coming into a new country and trying to learn English and navigate their way through Australia. Like, they have their own life to live as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it's an interesting discussion.
Yeah, it's just like I feel being a second generation Indian is challenging. I don't know about everyone else, but like it's challenging because you're like trying to find a balance between two different cultures. Like your parents are like too strict to let you go out, and your friends are like, wow, you're a loser, you don't go out. And then you're just like, you're stuck being like suppressed at home and then getting bullied at school. Like, you know, what do you do? Then you just have a trash life, sad life, or like, you just gotta, I don't know, like, it's so hard.
It is. It really is. Because you never know, like, what's going on in the background as a parent, because
they're afraid. They're afraid. They think you're going to die when you step out of the house. They genuinely do. My parents are like, Sarah, when you leave the house, I don't sleep. They don't. Because I know I come back home from like clubbing at like 5 in the morning sometimes, right? And they're like, I see my mom sitting on the couch awake because she doesn't sleep. I know she loves, like, I know it comes out of a place of love, but please. I could die in my own house too. Like, someone could come and like rob the house.
I know. I think just the way that second gen parents show love is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, like, I don't know. Obviously, in that essence,
it's intense. Like, it's actually intense love.
It's intense, like, but they love you.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
I know, but like, what about my social life?
Yeah, exactly. Well, what's next for you, like, in terms of music and stuff? I definitely want to talk more about you. Maybe not the second
parents?
gen parents. Yeah, no. Shout out Sarah's parents.
I don't know if they're gonna watch this. Maybe
Yeah,
I should.
we'll see how we go.
Yeah. Oh. Well.
But music, like, where are you wanting to take it? You've had this sudden revelation of like, let's vibe, coming into the picture, obviously, and you're just absolutely loving it, and you killed it. Honestly, like, I said to you that I was like in a trance, to be honest. Like, that's how good Sarah is, and if you do get a chance, please get around her. She's just awesome. Yeah, please talk to us a bit about it. Like, what have you got next?
I don't even know. Like, I guess I'll be sourcing more gigs. Like, we'll see when the next ones come up. But like, that's out of my control, you know, because I will try and do something that's in my control, like posting more on YouTube. And that was my New Year's resolution, but obviously I like lacked a lot of motivation, and I stopped taking myself seriously. So I was like, you know, like, I'm not going to post. Like, but after this, I feel like, and after getting pushed by you, I will post on YouTube. I'll post some more songs. So,
good. What is your name? Actually, I looked you up on YouTube.
Damn!
Did you change it?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't. Let me change it back.
Okay, fair enough. So you can find her at Sarah Fernandes. She's singing War
Sarah
with Heaven. It was very good. I listened to it last night.
You found it?
Yeah, I found it. It comes up.
Oh.
You look up Sarah Fernandes, War with Heaven. It comes up.
Yeah. The thumbnails, I don't know.
Please, can we push Sarah to post more, because she's an absolute raw talent and she has a gift and she better use it.
Yep.
Can you talk to us about your little writer's block, or what you sort of going through right now, because you've set the New Year's resolution of posting more on YouTube, but hasn't necessarily come.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to keep
No,
you
no,
accountable
it's fine,
on a podcast.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Writer's block. It sucks. It's like really doo-doo. Like during like COVID, I think it was the biggest writer's block I've ever had. 2020 to like 2022. I just got very, very like depressed and like I lacked motivation. Like I'd be waking up at like 3 every day. Like, you know, I woke up at 2 today because I went to sleep at like 5:30, okay? But I'd go to sleep at like a reasonable time, and if I didn't have anything to wake me up, I'd just keep sleeping like a cat. You know, like cats sleep for like 16 hours. Like I knew there was something wrong, but like I was unmotivated and could not be bothered fixing it, and I was unmotivated in every aspect of my life. I don't even know what got me out of it though. I think, yeah, changing my mindset and surrounding myself with people that have been backing me and been pushing me, like yourself, like, you know, some people in DSA, you know, like my big brother, like when they kind of like saw that I was not doing the best, they kind of like pushed me. They told me that, like, you know, oh wow, you're good singing, good job, you should sing more. You're good singing. Wow.
No, but it's about surrounding yourself with those people, and sometimes it comes off as like, oh, you're surrounding yourself with just people that say yes, but you eventually start ticking off and finding people that genuinely want the best for you. When you keep putting yourself in those vulnerable positions of like, maybe you're not feeling the best, but just keep yourself accountable. And something that this is off topic, but something I've done this year, which has been really nice. There's a group of boys. We've just got a messenger group chat, and I've got a journal. It's not with me at the moment, but journal every day. And it's not like, oh, this is how I'm feeling.
Do your diary.
Yeah,
Today I met this attractive boy. No.
Literally, but no, not literally. I used to think about journaling and diarying and like writing about that, and writing like a whole summary of the whole day and everything. But this group has been awesome because the way we're doing it is we're writing down like to-do lists every day, and then you just send a tick in the chat, and that just shows that like you've done it. And then I think the way
that's crazy,
it's so good. Like the productivity levels have just spiked.
Yeah,
it's been awesome, and I feel like I'm just switched on at the moment. Like I'm just getting shit done every day, and it's just been amazing. And I think it relates back to your point of surrounding yourself with these people who care for you and love you and will come to your gigs for you and push you to release more content and stuff, because we want more Sarah content.
Yay. Yeah, I will. No, but like I think hearing that reminds me of how I overcame that like block, that really terrible time in my life. I think I overcame it. I realized that, you know, I would only do things if someone was relying on me. Like, I wouldn't, like, even for my assignment, like, I submitted my end of year psych assignment 6 days late. And usually, like, it got so bad that usually, you know, when you have a deadline, fight or flight kicks in. And you just get it done, like, in a day. But fight or flight didn't kick in, you know? And I just stayed in my bed for those 6 days doing nothing. I could have done my assignment, but I just didn't have it in me. But then I realized that the key to it was, for me to just get out of it, was by having people relying on me to be there. So for example, like, for example, even Let's Vibe. Like, if it was just me, like, I wouldn't really, you know, do that much, you know. But I had to, you know, please not only audience, but make the band happy as well. Because imagine if I was, like, just doing a terrible job, bringing the band down, and I would hate that. Like, and then I started realizing that the more times I put myself in positions where people rely on me, the more active I'll be, the more productive I'll be. I guess it's exactly like your group chat. You know, because people are watching that. People are holding you accountable. If someone's holding me accountable to something, I'll do it because I'm a people pleaser. You know, and I guess that's a good thing about being a people pleaser. You know,
True, it is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
When you talk, when you speak of it like that. Wow. So it sounds like being a people pleaser actually is probably a double-edged sword. And there's always like a pro and con to being something or anything really. Yeah, that's actually a really interesting perspective, because I feel like we're pushed this narrative sometimes, well, especially in the modern day era, where like, oh, like self-love, care for yourself.
Yeah, like you got to take that. That's the thing. Everything is good in moderation. Like, being a people pleaser is good in moderation. Okay, if it's working, like, you know, being a people pleaser, in my opinion, is good, because like, why would you want to just like, you know, just brush everyone off? You know what I mean? I think it's like a thing. It's like a way of showing love. It's like a love language, kind of, you know, pleasing someone, you know.
Acts of service.
Yeah, acts of service. But like, it's just a different word. Literally, it's just a different phrase. And, you know, being stoic to a point is good in moderation. Because, like, to a point, like, it gets to that point where, like, you start just saying, oh, yeah, everything's out of my control. Nothing really matters. Nothing I do matters. You know, but you got to understand the concept and take the best parts out of it.
Well, when I read.
Yeah.
Which is very rare, which is
Well,
bad, because I should be reading instead of scrolling Gram and whatnot.
TikTok.
I'm not much of a TikTok scroller. I'm like,
No, but you need to hack the algorithm, like I
yeah,
have.
true. I know. You're gonna teach me your ways. We'll do it off air.
Yeah.
No, we'll do a chunks episode about it. No,
Yeah.
Guys. Yeah, literally. It's about applying the different perspectives in moderation, because you can't, and I can't go around saying like, yeah, you don't have to go to uni. You don't have to do all this, because it's like, it's still a safety net at the end of the day. Like, you might need it at some point in your life, if you need it as a crutch or something. But it's like, why not take that risk and do something that you're passionate about?
Now is the perfect time to take risks. Like, if you flop, you got Centrelink. Like, it's calm.
Yeah, and in one of the episodes as well, like Chris Yip was saying, like, we live in Australia, it's so privileged.
Yeah.
And yes, some family circumstances aren't the best, but yeah, we have Centrelink. Like, you have these avenues.
But people are just refusing to do it because people just want to take the route that's just been tested and like not really proven, but just like, well, I guess proven, because everyone, you know, has gone through it. But like, now is the time to try to experiment, because we are in such a great position in history. I'm so glad I was born in this time. Not too much in the future, where I'm scared of the future, where there's like nothing left, nothing original left. I'm so afraid for that. But like, not in the past, where you don't have the means. It's impossible to have the means to be able to create something like
Well,
this.
what do you want to create? Are you looking into the path of writing your own music?
Yeah. Now I'm out of the block, so I've been writing some songs. I've written like one new song about, even getting out of the block of just like writing songs about like non-existent breakups. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so easy. Like, I'm trying to connect with myself more and write songs about stuff that I've actually gone through. Because it's so easy to write about love, but writing about like your parents, or like writing about uni, writing about like anything is kind of hard for me personally.
Yeah, it is. And we look at this lens of, oh, you're still so young, like 19. What would you know? Sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it can be pretty difficult. But I think you have an amazing story to tell, and you're telling it right now. Yeah. Shout out. Yeah, so creating music, that's exciting. Posting more on YouTube.
Yeah.
Anything else in the works?
Hopefully passing psych. Lol.
Passing psych, yeah.
Bro, please, I really hope I pass psych. You know what? No, I will.
Exactly.
So I'm motivated and I'm ready to pass psych.
Love to see it. Is there anything you want to end on?
Do what makes you happy, and do not bend down to the expectations of others, no matter how tempting it can be. You have to fight through. Yes, good job. Yes.
Where can people find you?
On Instagram, probably, is what I use.
Yeah, we'll put you in the show notes below.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and my YouTube, when I finish, like, changing
that
the
will
name.
also be linked in the show notes below. So please check her out and get around Sarah, because I reckon she's going to be a name floating around in the very
Hopefully.
near future. It's going to be awesome. We got her in early, but maybe we'll do a catch-up episode when she's all blown up. So keen to see it. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Yay.